Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Correctional Officer Stories with Steve. Hey, thanks for rocking with me still. It's a new day trying to put out some new content for you all. Again, thank you to all my new subscribers. Still with the positivity is coming through like crazy. I really haven't seen much negativity, to be honest. So that's awesome. Because usually, there's a lot of negativity out there, especially with some of the stuff that's going on in society right now. So, again, I appreciate y'all. Thanks to all my subscribers who continue to rock with me, and thanks for all you that have come over from Savage Studios to rock with me, and whoever else is coming in new. Keep rocking, because we're gonna keep doing it. So, let's jump into today's video. Let's talk about the top probably 3 reasons people become a correctional officer. I would say number 1 is job security, right? Job security. So that job is never going to tell you, hey, by the way, we're getting rid of you today because you don't have a job. We don't have enough for you to do. Never going to happen, right? Prisons are always going to be full. There's always going to be a job to do. There's always going to be crime committed. So you're always going to have a job. So I would say number 1 is job security. Probably number 2, I would say opportunity, right? A lot of guys and gals that become correctional officers use it as a stepping stone, right? So I've said it in some of my previous videos. A lot of people use it as a stepping stone into becoming a cop. Hell, some even use it to become a firefighter, any kind of public servant. It'll help you. As I've said, though, to get into these professions, you still have to go through the testing process. You can't just lateral out of a corrections position into the police department. The only way you can do that is if you're post-certified in corrections. Some of our criminal investigators are post-certified. They actually go through the Arizona Law Enforcement Academy or whatever academy they're sent through. They go through it and they become a full-fledged officer. All the criminal investigators are post-certified. So they're cops and they investigate crimes. They're like detectives. But those are the only ones that are going to be able to lateral in. And they're still going to have to take a test, Still going to have to take a test, the written test. Still going to probably have to do the polygraph. Still going to have to do the physical fitness. So they're still going to have to go through the process. They're just going to skip the academy part of it. They're not going to have to go through the academy because they're already certified. You guys that are trying to go through the corrections as a stepping stone to become a cop that you don't have your post certification already, you can go through a Glendale Community College offers it. A lot of community colleges offer like a 10-month program where you can get your law enforcement certification. But you still got to go through the process. You're going to learn a lot in corrections about structure, 10 codes. You're gonna get to meet canine officers. You're gonna see the way the tactical support unit does. You're gonna get to train with outside law enforcement agencies. You're gonna meet a lot of law enforcement officials, especially the longer you're in. The more you're wearing your uniform in public, the more people you meet. You're gonna meet law enforcement people. So that might be your way into the police force or fire or whatever route you decide to go. A lot of people go police because they're using corrections as a stepping stone. Does it always work? No, because you have to do the process on your own. You can't just, like I said, go from corrections to becoming a cop. 2 totally different things. Yeah, we wear a badge in corrections, but we're not all the way post-certified. We got some of the AZ post, but not full-fledged peace officer where we can be out there making arrests. Like I said, most of the criminal investigators are. Correctional officers are not, for the most part. Now, CDCR is different. California Corrections is different. I'm almost positive all those guys are peace officers. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they are, and maybe some other states are. Arizona, however, is not. You are not a full-fledged peace officer. And I think probably the third reason I would say people become correction officers is because the job is never going to be boring. Never. Especially if you're working in a male facility. There's stuff going to be popping off all the time. You know, you might have a couple days that nothing goes on and it's quiet, but just know something's coming. So it's never boring. It's something always new. You might be doing searches. You might be doing strip searches. You might be doing something on the yard. You might be in an operations position on the yard where you're fixing the yard. You're pouring concrete. You're building fence. You're fixing the razor wire. As an officer, you're constantly moving the inmates around to their jobs, programming. You got to get them fed. You got to get their rec out. They got to get what they have coming to them. You might be in the store, putting the store packages together, helping Keefe. You might be, the inmates do that, so you ain't going to be doing that. But you might be a mail and property officer going through the mail, making sure there's no dope coming in, making sure it's going to the right inmate, making sure legal mail's being scanned in front of the inmate before you just hand it to him. You might be a kitchen officer, making sure the food's ready, where you pull your inmate crew. There's all kinds of things to do. It's never boring in corrections. You're never just sitting around unless you're in a bubble, but you're still monitoring. When I say a bubble, you're in the control room monitoring the pods. You might be popping a door. They might be coming out for rec. Who knows what's going to be going on, but you're never going to have a boring where you're just sitting there and you're falling asleep. Now, there has been some times on Graveyard for sure that officers fall asleep. As a sergeant, I caught it on the female facility because, as I've discussed before, female facility is different, especially on graves. In a male facility, Graveyard could still be popping off. In a female facility, for the most part, maybe particular yards might be busy, but for the most part, they're asleep until the morning. There's not all kinds of stuff popping off. You might have a fight or a quick cell fight or something, or a suicide attempt or a cutter or whatever. But for the most part, you're gonna have a good night, and it's gonna just be you're gonna be good. So it's not gonna be boring in a female facility either, because there's just gonna be all kinds of telling going on and drama, and you're gonna be all over them for whatever because they're telling all the time, and just different from a male facility. There's some politics though in a female facility, so I haven't been in the facility for a while, so I'm starting to actually remember some things that are coming back to me. But I'm telling you, it's two different animals, male to female. So those would probably be my top three reasons. If I had to give a fourth, I would probably say to make it like a safer community. A lot of people think going in there, a lot of officers think going in there they're going to give inmates structure and discipline and help them to get out when they get into back out into society, and to help reduce the recidivism. And they want to become a correctional officer 3. That's what they're called in Arizona. Those are programming officers. Those are the ones that you come out of uniform, you're in plain clothes. You put on different activities. You might be a rec coordinator, letting them play, depending on the yard. They might play kickball, or they might have a softball thing, or whatever they can do on that particular yard. You're in charge of it. And then you're also teaching classes, trying to reintegrate them back into society, and to help reduce the recidivism. So a lot of officers coming in trying to make their communities safer by thinking they're going to come in and bring some structure and discipline into the inmate's life. And I'm sure that happens quite often. I didn't really ever see it because I really wasn't in a role like that. Yeah, I knew many correctional officer 3s and 4s, but I didn't never really pay attention to that because it just wasn't my job duty. And I didn't really never see the inmates saying they're getting a lot out of that. It seems like they get out. The reason they get out and they recommit is because they get out to nothing. They get out to no family. They might have done a long bid and they're institutionalized, and they can't do it on the street, and they're used to being in prison. And because it's structure, right? There's some structure in prison. You're basically being told by a correctional officer what to do pretty much all day, unless you're in your cell or whatever. And for the most part, they like that. They know what time they're going to eat. They know what time they can do their rec. They know what time their showers are. They know when their school is. They know when they're going to go to work. So there's some structure there. And when you get out, you've lost that now. So your day, you don't have a roof over your head. You don't know you have meals coming. There's no structure anymore. So it's completely different. So those would be my top 3 and 4 reasons. Guys and gals become correctional officers. But there might be there's a lot of reasons as to why, but we definitely know that it's never going to be a boring job. There's plenty of opportunity, and there's job stability. Sorry, my neck's been bothering me. So keep rocking with me, y'all. I appreciate it. I'm gonna be bringing more and more content. I'm gonna start telling a little bit of some war stories, some shit that I've been through, some stuff that I've seen, some stuff that I've heard. It's not going to be, and listen, my channel's not always going to be about, it's called Correctional Officer Stories, but I'm going to talk about the daily life, like I said. I'm going to talk about some struggles that I've been through, some struggles that I've seen. So it's not always going to be about correctional officers, man. It's just not. But for the most part, I'm going to talk about stuff like that. So keep rocking with me. Stay tuned. I'll keep kicking videos out if you keep rocking with me. Let's get to that 1,000K subscriber count so I can start doing some lives with y'all, doing some, ask Steve anything. I'll put anything out there. I'm 100% real. I ain't got nothing to hide. So, them negativity comments, I'll just block you because I ain't got time for that. You know what I mean? Like I'm 100%. I'm a real one. So nothing to hide. You can ask me anything. Thanks again. Peace.